I just want to quickly run through the legal setup for Rent2Rent, something that I get asked all the time. In the section here, I have dropped a link, which will take you to this document here. And again, just use it as a right click and tick it once you've done it. So quickly run through. Basically, you're going to need some insurances, so public liability and professional indemnity insurance. And if you are taking employees on as well, you will also require some insurance for your employees. This is my contact for all my insurance, including my portfolio insurance and everything else that I do property-wise. So feel free to reach out to him, tell him that I've sent you, and he will look after you. You need public liability insurance for if a tenant has an accident, or if you're running service accommodation and a guest has an accident and they want to claim against you, then obviously it's going to keep you covered. Professional indemnity insurance is, for example, if a landlord, say you did some work on the landlord's property and it wasn't up to scratch, or something happened and you know there was a big claim put in from the landlord against your company, then you have the insurance to sort that out. And similarly, if an employee has an accident at work, then if they put a claim in against you, then you would be covered through insurance. So just get them sorted, tick the box, and get yourself covered for the peace of mind. Register with the ICO. So the Information Commissions Officer is for anybody that is handling personal data, as we will be collecting, data in the form of either guests or prospective tenants and ongoing tenants. Sometimes there's financial information collected as well. So you need to be covered. So again, you've got to register with the ICO. It is mandatory for every company that handles data. We will be handling data, so therefore you've got to get that done. So just again, get that done. Join an ombudsman. I joined the PRS. There are other ones out there. I've put links here for both the ICO and the PRS, so you can just simply click them and then join. But the PRS handles any sort of disputes with tenants and anything, along those sort of lines. It also just gives you that tick of authenticity and a bit of a trust factor as well, so you can publish their logo on your website and all those sort of things as well. So again, you need to join one. So that was my preferred option based on the plans that were offered, so I joined them. Just get it done and get your certificate, and then you forget about it because it's in place. Check in your local area if you do need client money protection with your council. So Rent2Rent works a bit differently. If you were an estate agent collecting rents on behalf of a landlord and then passing that money on to the landlord less your fee, then you would more than likely need a client money protection account. But because we do Rent2Rent, we are given a guaranteed rent, and the difference we're kind of keeping. So not all councils state that Rent2Rent operations need client money protection accounts, but it is worth checking because there is no one size fits all, unfortunately. So I'm just kind of giving you the one side and the other side of the coin, and unfortunately you're going to have to go and check out based on your location whether you do or don't need it. But a simple Google search and maybe one phone call, you can find your answer out. Check if you need licenses to operate. Most HMOs will need licenses. The difference is with people size and room sizes, it varies per council. So double check to see if you need one for when you get to 4 people, when you get to 5 people, when you get to 6, whatever that might be. And just make sure that you've got the licenses in place before you start operating, because you don't want to be getting fined for not having the licenses in place. With HMOs, you can operate up to a level. So for example, in Newcastle, we have a 5-bed license, or a 5-person license, I should say. If we don't get to 5 people, we don't need the license until we get to that 5th person. So, you can rent 4 rooms out before you get to that license point. And then finally, which is optional, decide whether you want to join the National Landlord Association or Residential Landlords Association. Again, it's more just a trust factor tick in the box. You don't have to do that. There's no legal requirement to do that. But the rest of it you do need to do. So get yourself set up, and then let's go and find some deals.